lower back pain, and soon found that I had problems with my SI joint. And this is due to repeated stress through skiing on the ligaments and the tissues around that joint that affected the mobility of the joint. So here's Kayla, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about the SI joint and how to treat it, that problem.
Well, the SI joint is called your sacroiliac joint, and what that means is your sacrum is the middle bone that attaches to your tailbone, and your iliums are both bones on the side of your hips that you feel when you put your hand on your hips. So we have a joint between these bones, and we have lots of ligaments and muscles and tissues that attach to this area. And what can happen during some sports or activities is that you can put lots of stress on these ligaments and lots of stress on these muscles, which can strain them and also affect the mobility or the function of the joint. And so we are going to show you a couple of activities that you can do to improve the mobility of the joint, to engage all the muscles around the joint to help with any possible problems that may be going on. Okay, this first exercise we are going to do is just to kind of engage the muscles around the lower part of the pelvis, around what we call your pubic symphysis here, where the two ilium combine and meet. It's a general exercise that's going to help the muscles around it engage and help with any possible alignment issues we have there. I'm going to have Rose start with making her fist with her hands and placing her hands between her knees. From this position here, she can squeeze her knees together and hold from 5 to 10 seconds. This is going to cause a contraction of the muscles in between the hips, and then she can relax and repeat that exercise 5 to 10 times. The next exercise we're going to do is to address more the iliums on either side and any possible torsions or difficulty with motion in the sagittal plane. And what I'm going to have her do here is place one hand on one knee and lift it up. The other leg is going to be placed on the mat with the knee bent. She's going to start by pushing the knee where her hand is up into her hand and resisting it with her hand. So the force is going towards her head. The other knee is going to press down into the mat, engaging her hamstring to give the opposite force to the other hip. She's going to hold this for about 5 to 10 seconds like the other exercise and repeat 5 to 10 times. And then she's going to relax, and we'll reverse this exercise on the other side. And she's going to press this leg down and press this knee up. And the purpose of this exercise is to engage the muscles around the iliums to help with mobility of their motion in the sagittal plane. And then relax. Okay, this last exercise is to help with the mobility of the sacrum with side-to-side motion. And what we're going to have Rose do is she's going to bring both knees together and she's going to press both knees into the wall. The hardest part about this one is making sure she uses her leg that's on the other side of the wall because she wants the pressure going through both sides. She's going to hold this exercise for 5 to 10 seconds and then relax and repeat it 5 to 10 times and then switch sides and do it on the other side as well. When we talk about stability of the SI joint, we're referring to the muscle groups that lay around the joint. We need to make sure these muscles are strong and can help to control the joint while people are doing their athletic activities. So the first exercise I'm going to have Rose do is called the core march. And what she's going to do here, she's going to start lying down with her knees bent. She's going to tighten the muscles in her lower abdomen and draw up a kegel. She's going to extend that contraction a little higher and draw the muscle below her belly button down towards her spine. From there, she can place her hands right on the inside of her pelvis bones. And she wants to feel for motion during this exercise underneath her fingers. She's going to start by holding this contraction and lifting one foot up off the mat just a few inches, and she'll hold this contraction for 5 to 10 seconds. Then she will switch sides, and as she switches, she wants to minimize the rotation underneath her fingertips. She can repeat this exercise 5 to 10 times on both sides, focusing mainly on the control of the pelvis. So this next exercise is a progression from the last exercise we did. Instead of lying on her back, I'm going to have Rose get on her hands and her knees. And she's going to, from this position, engage the same muscles she did while she was lying on her back. She's going to draw her core in and try to maintain this position throughout the exercise. She's going to then extend one leg out, keeping her pelvis low and without letting her hip rise. And at the same time, she'll lift and extend. Flex the other arm forward and hold this position for 5 to 10 seconds. Then she'll slowly come down and repeat the exercise on the other side, trying to minimize the rocking of her pelvis here again. The last exercise we're going to talk about today is an exercise for the muscles in her back. We talked about the muscles in her abdomen in the beginning 2 exercises, but we can't forget about the muscles in the back of the pelvis as well. These muscles are important because they actually connect to the muscles in the front, and that's what helps to make a corset around the pelvis area. During this exercise, Rose is going to concentrate on the muscles right above her pelvis at the bottom of her spine. She's going to engage one leg and lift it just a couple inches off the mat, feeling for contraction in her low back. She can hold this exercise for 10 seconds and then release down and switch to legs. Then she can repeat that on the other side for 10 times.